Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Marc Dorsey, the best kept secret in R&B. I just want you guys to tune in. You know I got soul.
Give me your history in music and kind of how you were discovered as an artist and you know how that led to you getting.
I guess back in 1990 I started working with after many years on the road with a lot of jazz, R&B legends like the Manhattans and Gene Carn and stuff. I was able and fortunate enough to meet a radio DJ by the name of Von Harper, who was popular for the Quiet Storm format at WBLS.
Yeah.
We met, we spoke, we connected, and you know, in the summer of 1990, I was taking a break from Morgan State University.
Yeah.
Where I was majoring in business and music.
Okay.
And ended up, you know, getting a request from Von Harper to come out and really pursue my music career.
Yeah.
As a profession. So then, you know, that led to me coming to New York, working with Von Harper, and getting acclimated to the New York music scene. I was able to meet Spike Lee.
Yeah.
And Spike Lee gave me an opportunity to perform one of the title songs on his movie called Crooklyn.
Yep. Okay.
And, you know, working with Spike for about 5 years on a few films. We did Cockers, we did Crooklyn, we did Get on the Bus, with another independent film called, what was the name of that film? Shit. Drop Squad.
Okay.
Which, you know, opened me up to a whole new avenue and arena of, you know, African American actors that, you know, today that are really doing their thing. And that led me to Universal Music.
Okay.
Where, you know, I was able to, you know, work on an album which was never released.
Yep.
But, you know, I got plenty of soundtrack opportunities.
Cool. You hooked up with the Neptunes at one point, and, you know, I'm a big fan of their productions and also the work you've done with them. So I was just always wondered, how did you originally link up with them?
The Neptunes, when they were getting started, a good friend of mine by the name of Kenny Ortiz, who was an A&R at RCA at the time, he had discovered SWV, and Brian Morgan, who was their dominant producer, he had thrown my name into the category in terms to work on a Neptunes produced album. They had just left Teddy Riley, and they were looking for artists that really inspired them musically, and, you know, by the grace of God, you know, I was one of those artists.
Yeah.
So we developed a good friendship.
Yeah.
In, like, the beginning of their careers, and, you know, we still speak, you know, somewhat here and there. I haven't heard from them in about a year, but that was, you know, more so of a I guess, one of a friendship nature that really developed and grew into one that, you know, was creatively beneficial.
Yeah.
You know, runs the gamut. I've been able to, you know, run across a lot of, you know, great individuals aside from the talent.
Okay. Tell me about, you know, Ghetto Children specifically, because that's a song I really like. How did that song come together? Like, what was the, you know, the idea for that song originally, and how did it all play out?
That song came about was one of Pharrell's, I guess, brainchilds in developing Khalees. He wanted to give her more so of an eclectic, urban, gritty, poppy type of thing, which was the sound at the time, and it was really just trying to develop her as an artist. So, you know, my musical style and background was one that he thought would be perfect for that project.
Yeah.
So I guess just with our history and our, male camaraderie or whatever, he thought that, you know, she needs to really elevate her game as far as vocally.
Yeah.
So, you know, Ghetto Children.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, you know, for Love You Better, that song became a huge success. Did you ever expect that it would, you know, reach a #1 single, or, you know, what did you?
Actually, no, and I would, you know, challenge any artist to say what they think is going to be the #1 success, because you never know. That was one in which I had done before LL had even, you know, put his verses on it, and it was basically constructed and had come about as a record that Pharrell and I, we usually work with. He wants lyrics, and then I come up with a lot of the melody and arrangements on that side, which made us, you know, a good team to work in the studio. So when he came up with that, I had another record on the album called Playboy.
Yeah.
Which in my mind I thought was going to be the single at the time, but through research and development of them sending those singles and stuff out to radio, Love You Better came back as one that, you know, could cross many different formats and many different genres.
Yep.
And that was ultimately the one that they came up with.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
So now tell me, why did we never see a follow-up album from you after you released Crave? You know, did you plan to release a second album? You know, what happened there?
I plan to release a second album, but if anybody knows my history, I have a large construction background, and I left college because my dad had gotten real sick, so, you know, it was more so of a monetary issue.
Yeah.
He had diabetes and, you know, had a few strokes, so the construction aspect, business aspect was more so in my head than music was. I'm just used to working.
Yeah.
So it came about in a sense of, you know, me recording, because I've done just as many jingles for radio and television than I have done albums or singles. So, you know, me, I just love music, man, and that focus and attention was just more so about me.
Yeah.
Just singing.
Yeah.
And not so much about albums and branding and different things of that nature. So, I had asked Giant for a release in 1999, and they gave me a release in 2000, and then, you know, the LL stuff was in 2001, 2002 I recorded. That comes out, Jay-Z is from 2000 to 2003. Did a few jazz projects with Larry Meadow, who's Najee, a popular saxophonist. So it was more so me just sitting and not saying, you know what, I want to put out another album because this is what maybe the fans might want from a Marc Dorsey.
Yep.
And, you know, that just never really transpired. That wasn't my focus. I had gotten into real estate. Personally, I was able to buy and flip $3 million in real estate by myself. And I got into, you know, developing children's arts programs from D.C. to Virginia to Maryland to Connecticut. So, I mean, I really didn't look at it as like, okay, well, people do this for myself.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the thing of saying, yo, well, you got to get back and get that next album. You know, I'm also a single dad, so, you know, I have 3 kids, but I'm a single father of 2, so that really, you know, life plays a part.
Yeah.
Okay. It really plays a part, so that was a lot of it.
All right. And I know you mentioned, you know, about your current situation, but do you have any plans in the future to, you know, record music again, or no, or is that not going to happen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I actually did a song called Follow My Heart. That was on a Riding High CD that was just re-released last year because of, I I guess, the request from radio, which garnered, me a top 4 record at Jazz Radio. I continue to do spot shows. I've been a spokesperson for the National Diabetes Association. I've done work with the CASA organization, the Agency for Abused, Adopted, and Foster Kids. So I've just been lending myself to a lot of different social organizations, trying to, use my voice and my music as a catalyst for different causes, social causes.
Yep.
So, and as we just opened up a, $1 million facility in Hackensack, New Jersey, that we're, working with and training, adolescents to adults in different workshops and production courses and stuff like that, trying to keep music alive.
Yeah. Okay. One last question for you.
Yeah, don't count me out, man. I'm coming back with something.
Okay, cool. One last question for you. Since you've been active as an artist since the early 90s, how have you seen the R&B landscape change over the years, up until today?
I think it's changed pretty much for the commercialism, and not so much as the artistry. I can respect it because we're dealing with a younger demographic that, is more so on the impulse buying scheme of things as opposed to the creativity or the level of skill of the artist. So it's more so, when you get social media kind of paving the way for a lot of things, and people with no talent are basically instant celebrities because they've got, 2 or 3 million views on YouTube or MySpace. And it's become much more of a marketing play as opposed to musical creativity play.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
I have to embrace it. I have to embrace it because, if you don't put out a record, automatically you have to take business.
Yeah.
If you're not putting out a record, you just want to perform and do this, or you want to be a creative artist or someone that, gets respect from within the industry, then you can't really worry about album sales.
Yeah.
So I think that's the resurgence of independent music labels right now.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
I think music is music, and we keep staying involved. I was doing some harsh development for Chris Brown. And doing instrumentals, securing record deals for Pretty Ricky. I had about 2 or 3 other artists that had went on to garner other record deals. So I had found a niche, and that led me more so toward the education and training aspect. So my overall thought and thinking in this music day, I just love music, man, and the creativity. You can be 10 to 100, and the music, kind of connects generations. It connects different ways of thinking, and music, overall, to me, is like a universal language.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you.
So, at everything, man, I thank God that, I was able to, still able to, remain in music and, can help part with their creativity or movement as we, mobilize.
Yeah.
This whole idea as far as hip-hop to R&B to pop to reggae, old styles, man.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Cool. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir. It is, man. I just appreciate you, people like yourself, and things and what you're doing and getting the word out and being very informative where it might not necessarily be so much mainstream, but, I'm sure Rosa Parks wasn't the first person that they told to go sit in the back of the bus, and she said no.